Back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show. Time to finish up the show with our CVE segment. Raelynn is here, and I just went blank on your name. Kyler Bowerman. Bowerman was in my mind, but I couldn't remember Kyler's first name. So it's what happens when you get old, you know. So it'll happen to us all someday, I guess. But how are things going? We're getting to the end of October. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I know. It flew by.
Yeah.
Absolutely flew by. So
crazy, because it just seems like the other day we were getting all ready to go for the Eastern New Mexico State Fair.
Exactly.
And now that's over, and now we're turkeys and
right?
Christmas and all that good stuff.
Yep.
So, well, not tomorrow, Friday.
Friday.
You've got a nice little event that's going to take place at the co-op.
We do. So October is National Cooperative Month, and so on Friday between the hours of 9 and 11, and then we'll do it again. We'll take a little break, and then we'll do it again between 2 and 4. We are going to have just kind of a come and go. We're calling it Coffee with Your Co-op. We'll have coffee, water, some sweet treats for people, and information about the co-op. If anybody has questions, they can come and talk to us about it. And just a time for us to celebrate our members, because there would be no Central Valley Electric Cooperative if it weren't for the members, because they own the co-op.
Mm-hmm. So that's 9 to 11 and 2 to 4 on Friday.
On
this
Friday, yes, Friday the 28th.
So be sure and come on out. And I guess if you have questions, it'd be a good time to ask some questions.
Right, yeah. If you have questions, if anybody has questions about solar and maybe our process, that would be a good time to come and talk to us about that, or, you know, just anything you might have a question regarding. We'll do our best to answer it, or find somebody that can, for sure.
I know this most likely is not in your realm, but I'm starting to see more solar panels pop up on roofs of houses.
There are.
And I'm seeing houses with like 1 or 2 panels. And again, I know that's not a CVE question. That would be a solar panel people question. But I just wonder if that really does help, just a couple of panels. I have
Well,
no
I mean,
clue.
it can't hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to take some of the kilowatt hours that you would normally purchase from your utility and lower your electric bill that way. So I have 3 solar applications sitting on my desk right now, and
Okay.
no, 4. I have 4. So I'm getting solar phone calls on a very, very regular basis.
Yeah.
So
Well, people's bills are up.
people's bills are up, absolutely.
And they're looking at ways to save money.
Right. And the only thing that we ask on that is that if you are thinking about going solar, just give us a call first, and we'll walk you through our process and kind of what kind of happens at the co-op and things like that. And I would give one piece of advice to people, and that's to really look into the solar company that you're thinking about working with. Just, you know, do your due diligence and make sure you're comfortable with the company. I mean, we've had some situations where, you know, the solar company wasn't that reputable, and the member got left holding the bag, basically. And if they tell you that they can completely do away with your utility bill, that's not entirely true. So if Friday would be a good time to come and ask us those questions, and we can kind of walk you through our process and things like that. But, you know, we've got over 40 customers currently that have got solar installed on their home, and I guess they're enjoying it. So, I mean, I haven't really gone back and asked any of them, but
Yeah. That might be part of the research that people need to do, is maybe reach out to people that have installations.
sure.
And ask them, how was the process for you, and
Sure.
and what is, at the end of the day, what is the benefit? What benefit are you deriving from this
Right.
installation?
Right. Yeah.
So that's great, because a lot of people are finding out they may be looking at their bills a little more closely the last few months. Just, what am I using
Absolutely. I know
energy
I have been.
for? Yeah.
Right. I know, was it yesterday morning it was so chilly the first time, and so my my heater kicked on. And I'm like, oh, it's not that cold. That heater doesn't need to be on because it's been really nice the month of October. My air conditioner has not been running. So
right.
I know that my usage is going to be a lot lower. And I'm kind of looking forward to that October bill a little bit just because I know it's not going to be what it has been in the past just because strictly on usage.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and then, of course, the first time you turn on the furnace, I like to call it burn the stink off.
Right.
So you get a little bit of that. What's burning?
Yes.
Dust. Yeah.
It's dust.
And
we get plenty of that, so.
we don't have a shortage of dust around here.
No, we don't.
Well, once we move into November, then everybody really starts, once we get past Halloween, I know the retailers maybe have already switched, but
Right.
as far as just mentally, we start thinking the holidays. And a lot of folks are going to be saying, can you help out with toys? And so
Right.
in Artesia, CVE, you've participating with Toys for Tots?
We are, we've done this for several years. We are a drop-off spot for toys for Tots, and this is the Toys for Tots 75th anniversary.
Wow.
They have been doing this that long, and it's all the toys that are donated do go to Eddy County children. And so you can drop off, starting now, our boxes are already out in the lobby. You can drop off new unwrapped toys
Okay.
for children ages 0 to 18.
0 to 18, don't wrap them.
Do not wrap them, no.
Okay.
Yeah, and so they will get picked up on December 7th, so now to December 7th. And then they have a distribution that they do, and they get all of those toys distributed to the families that
Now they
need them.
wrap them then.
No.
Oh, okay.
They don't wrap them.
All right.
So
That's interesting.
I think they kind of give them to the families, and the families can wrap some of them and maybe leave some unwrapped.
Okay. That's a good process.
Right.
And you were telling me, I think, to your knowledge, CVE is the only Toys for Tots
That's what
drop-off?
The director of the Toys for Tots here in Eddy County has told me, is that we are the only ones located in Artesia, but they would love to get into other businesses. And so I've got 2 extra boxes. If anybody is interested in having those boxes as a place that people can come to their business or location and drop those off, then I do have 2 extra boxes, and
Okay.
I can get you all the information, and then that just is one more opportunity for people to donate toys. We do also have a collection box. If you don't want to buy toys and you would rather just donate money, then we do have a box that you can donate money, and then they use that money to go and buy toys.
Go buy toys for the list that they
Yes.
have. A question I'm sure some people have is what monetary value of gift should be considered, because you don't want to be too on the low end and you don't want to be too on the high end.
I don't really know that it matters.
Okay.
Because I think these kids are just grateful to get anything. So I know this summer at Walmart they had a little section, and they had clearance toys, and so I'm kind of rummaging through those, and my daughter's like, "What are you looking at? What are you looking for?" Because they're not toys that she would play with.
Sure.
And I said, "Well, I was looking for Toys for Tots. If I can buy more with my budget because they're on clearance, then that's what I'm going to do."
Yeah.
So
Well, that's a neat idea. Most people, I say most people, a lot of people are like last minute.
right, yeah, I'm honestly surprised I thought about it in the summertime, but I did.
Yeah, so that's great. So Toys for Tots collection box at the CVE office in Artesia.
Yes.
And they're collecting through December 7.
Yes.
So make sure you get those turned in, or if you have any questions, you can ask about that, and we'll try to reach out to the Toys for Tot folks and have them on the radio so they can talk more about it. Well, what else is going on? November? Anything else exciting
November.
coming up in November?
Not really. I can't think of anything. Voting. Yeah, we are a voting location.
Okay, very good.
On November the 8th at
yeah.
CVE, you can come by the Jack Case Community Room and 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and cast your much-needed vote.
Yeah, or as like learned in Mississippi, vote early and often.
Vote early and often.
No, vote early is fine. Don't vote often. Not all of us have two names.
Right.
See, I vote under my radio name and then my
there
real
you
name.
go.
I just make sure I don't cancel myself out because that would be
Right.
silly, wouldn't it? How did you vote for that?
Yeah.
It'd be kind of crazy. Well, very good. Are you still doing the home energy audits or signing up people
Home
for that?
energy audits, the last day for the season, I guess you could call it, is November 18th. So after November 18th, they won't be back in the office or in the area until January. So if you want to go ahead and get that home energy audit, then let's go ahead and get that scheduled and get that taken care of.
You said November 18th?
November 18th.
November 18th.
Yes.
So, and that we've talked about it before. Green
Metal Energy.
Metal Energy.
Yes.
Okay.
And they're really quick to call. Once we give them our members' information, then they're really quick to call and get that scheduled. So.
Mm-hmm. Good. Oh, and I know that's the other utility company, but I did get a press release from Excel. Apparently, some people have been scammed by phone calls saying
Right.
you've got to pay your electric bill.
Right.
And they've been scammed out of their personal information. We've talked about it
We
before
have.
here.
So it was last week or the week before, I can't remember,
I think it was last week.
Mm-hmm.
where our girls up front that are answering our phone calls, they said, we've had 4 or 5 calls from people that have gotten scam calls. So just don't, if they're being pushy and telling you that if you don't do this now, then I would hang up on them.
Yeah.
And then call your utility.
Mm-hmm. So if you're on Excel, call them.
Absolutely.
If you're on CVE, call you guys.
Absolutely.
And
Or any utility. I mean, I'm sure it's not just the electric utilities that they're
Right.
targeting. They're probably targeting any kind of utility. And what's funny is I don't know how they know to call a certain number and they know that person gets their power from CVE. These scammers are very sophisticated.
yeah, it may be in the way that they ask the question.
That's true too.
That they trick the person on the phone
telling them.
who their utility
Right.
company is.
Yeah.
Because they're pretty crazy people to do all that stuff.
Right.
But CVE, you don't call people up on the phone and say, we're cutting you off if you don't pay your
Correct.
bill.
We do call people and give them a courtesy that, hey, you're past due. You've got a 48-hour disconnect notice. Because there are rules that we have to follow from the New Mexico Public Regulation Commission.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll give you a courtesy call, and then usually the servicemen will tag doors as well. So we try every way we can to make contact with people before we just shut them off.
Right. But you don't call up and say, if you don't pay us now,
Exactly.
we're cutting you off.
Because we don't take payment over the phone.
Mm-hmm.
So
So keep that in mind if you're
Right.
a CVE customer or any of your utilities, whether you get your
right.
water, gas, or solar.
Right. And I mean, even to XL, they have to follow the same Public Regulation Commission rules where they've got to give you 48 hours to pay that before they disconnect. So,
Well, the one that would be an obvious scam would be, this is the sun.
right. Right.
You haven't paid your electric bill. We're going to turn off your solar if you
Right.
don't. That would be an obvious sign of a scam, but I wouldn't be
Right.
surprised if somebody tries it.
Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
You never know.
These scammers are crazy.
I've always said that if these people that come up with these ways to scam people out of money could use that brain power for something good, who knows it would probably change the world.
Yeah. Do they ever get caught, or do they just get moved along?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think they know how and when to move and what
Yeah.
to do.
They
Yeah.
are. I got a phone call. A phone call the other day said that my prescription needed to be renewed at a pharmacy I've never used.
Huh.
Phone call.
Wow.
You know, so they're getting real brazen in their methods at which they're
Right.
reaching out to people.
Yeah.
So
Well, they have high electric bills to pay too, so. I'm just joking.
Not my problem.
I'm just joking.
they need to figure a more legitimate way to
That's
take care of
right.
that.
Absolutely.
Well, good. Was there anything else we need to cover today?
No, just like I said, come by on Friday between 9 and 11 a.m. and again from 2 to 4 p.m. And
Oh, you need to.
no, I was trying to. It just went right out of my brain. But yeah, we'll be doing that member appreciation
on Friday.
on Friday the 28th. Yes, sir.
Out at CVE on North 13th. here
North
in
13th.
13th and, well, almost 13th and
Right.
Ritchie. Used to be 13th and
Used to
Ritchie.
be.
Now it's a little bit across the street. All right, thanks a lot. And Kyler, thanks for coming in. We heard about 4 words.
Yep.
That was one of them. So, all right, we'll see y'all next time.